Yeah, we back. We back. Now today, man, we're going to be talking about Candace Owens. Now, as we already know, I did a video on it last night. Candace Owens has been fired from her position at the Daily Wire, a right-wing conservative media publication, due to her comments about the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Now, due to the fact that her right-wing backers have decided to part ways and let her go, she's going back independent. So she's been making the rounds on the black media platforms, Breakfast Club, Joe Budden. You know, she's going back to the black community because the other community told her it's time to go. So I'm going to review some parts from her Breakfast Club interview, especially where she talks about, because Charlamagne the God, he had interviewed her and asked her some questions in regards to, you talk about all this black family, talking about how the Democrats want to feminize the black man. The Democrats don't want to see the black man in power, in charge of his community, buttering up the black man, right? See me, I don't fall victim to the sweet words, man. Y'all boys fall victim to the sweet words. I do not fall victim to those sweet words at all, man. But anyways, man, let's jump straight into it, man. Not wasting no time.
I want to go back to something you said earlier, because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah.
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument
he
for me?
feels
everything black.
No.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Every damn
thing. He feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
Now, first things first, Candace Owens lied, saying she never heard about Dr. Umar Johnson or she never listened to him. That's a lie. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That should have been the first red flag. This lady supposedly trying to act as an ambassador for the black community, talking about, I never even heard of Dr. Umar. I never heard of him. Bro, man, listen, y'all boys fall victim to that bullshit, man. Listen, I came up with 5 sisters. I know when a woman is playing stupid trying to run game. You can't run that shit on me. Let's continue.
Okay, I would love to talk to him more about that because, it's always very interesting to me to hear this paradox of black people who will make an argument that, the system is racist and then also make an argument like this, which is essentially making an argument for the Supreme Court to revisit Virginia versus Love and basically say that black Americans and white Americans shouldn't be marrying. I think the greatest thing ever is when people come together on the basis of who they love and get married. She's married to a white man. When I look at my kids, I'm not like, oh, my kids are mixed. I married the person that it made the most sense for me to marry. I have a mind that is just, if you even knew half the things that I'm thinking about, the stuff that I'm reading, just go all the time. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me, the challenge that I needed.
Now, in this part of the interview, she says that she thinks it's a paradox that black people try to make the argument that the system is quote unquote racist while also trying to promote things such as maintaining your culture, marrying amongst your community. She thinks it's a paradox. She thinks that doesn't match. Well, actually, if you're a true conservative, you understand the reason why people tend to marry into their culture, because they want to conserve their culture. They want to conserve their ancestral traditions and heritage. If you are a true conservative, but you're not, you know what I mean? You're a bullshitter, you're a grifter, you're a con artist. That's what you are. Because you see, the people who tend to promote interracial marriage, colorblind, love is love, that's liberal ideology. That's not conservative ideology. And I'm talking about around the world. It doesn't matter what country you are in. If you are conservative, whether you are in New York, whether you are in Nairobi or Ghana or Nigeria or China, if you are conservative, you also have conservative values as it relates to marriage. And historically, those who held conservative beliefs were usually against interracial marriage. Typically, usually, right? They weren't really with the whole, open door, everybody love is love. That's not conservative values. That's liberal ideology. That's 21st century liberal ideology. And if you are a true conservative, if you are a true American patriot who understood the history of the United States, you would understand what the conservative founding fathers of America thought about interracial marriage and the reason why they came up with certain laws such as the one-drop rule. The reason why they came up with certain laws such as the one-drop rule is because they wanted to conserve their economics, they wanted to conserve their culture and tradition, and they did not want the outside races, specifically the black race, to have access to their economic treasure because they wanted to conserve what they built because they were conservatives. But you're not a conservative. You're not. And going back to what she said earlier about how it's a paradox, about how black people complain about the system being racist and want to talk about, interracial marriage, logically speaking, If the system is racist, if we have a group of people that are adversarial to our interests, wouldn't it be common sense to intermingle and congregate amongst our own people and coalesce our forces amongst our own people? Wouldn't that be the common sense course of action to take? You see, but when you're a grifter, when you a bottom feeder, when you a con artist, when you a ventriloquist dummy, you just be saying shit. You just be saying shit thinking you sounded smart. That shit sounds smart to a dummy. Let's continue.
What you will know, a lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting. You think like if you see two black people together, it's because they are two black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ.
Now, in this section of the interview, she tries to make the argument that people tend to marry those of a similar IQ. My God. What she's saying is, listen, my IQ is too high up in the sky. That's the reason why I'm with a white man. My IQ is way too high up in the sky. Listen, stop it, man. People tend to marry their culture, first of all. People tend to marry those who they share similar traditions and customs and values with. That's why Ben Shapiro, the man that fired you, he married an Israeli woman, right? Because he is a true conservative. See, Ben Shapiro, that is a true conservative. That's a Jewish man that married an Israeli woman. He's not a grifter. He's a grifter like you, but at least he walks the walk. You be talking the talk, but you don't be walking the walk. He actually walks the walk and he talks the talk. That's why he fired your dumbass when you decided to hop on the microphone and speak against Israel, because he is a true conservative trying to conserve his ancestral customs and traditions. You're just a bullshitter trying to make a dollar. That's the fact of the matter. And like I mentioned in my previous video, where I spoke about her getting fired from the Daily Wire, I said, you see, Jewish men, they have what is called self-respect and unity. You're never going to see a Jewish woman, an Israeli woman married to a German Nazi descendant talking about, love is love. I married my IQ. No, you only see black folks saying that. That's why I said, that's why the Jewish man got the power and you don't. That's why the Jewish man got the money and you don't, because he knows what it takes to conserve the money and power. You don't. That's a fact. You don't. That's why niggas is losing and them folks is winning. That's why y'all be talking shit on them folks, because you don't have the same unity and self-respect as them folks. That's what it is. Like I said, Candace, you be talking the talk. You talk the talk very well, but you don't be walking the walk at all. You hop on a microphone, the black man, the black family, what's it called? Lyndon Baines Johnson, all this shit. Then you go right in bed, tucked in bed with your British aristocrat. Ain't nobody listening to that dumb shit. I'm telling you we not. I swear to God we not. I swear to God we not. If you ask any true conservative, what is more important to you? Your culture, your ancestral culture, traditions and values, or IQ? If you put, in front of Ben Shapiro, ask him, what is more important to you? A woman that shares your similar cultural values, customs, and ancestral heritage, or a woman of a similar IQ? I think Ben Shapiro would rather choose a Jewish woman instead of a non-Jewish woman with a high IQ, because he is a conservative trying to conserve what he has. That's a fact. That's a true conservative right there. You're a bullshitter. You're a grifter, and only dumbass niggas be buying that shit you selling. Let's continue.
Have you ever dated black men before?
Yeah. I dated black men, which is another thing that I always find really funny, because the media tries to portray me as someone who only liked white guys. Actually, if you want to be honest, I started off on a really strong Asian kick in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I thought I was going to marry an Asian man.
What's fine?
I did. My first boyfriend was Japanese. My second boyfriend was Korean. I just really loved Asian men. It was weird.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see, now we're making progress. You see, beneath this facade, this conservative facade, Candace Owens is a liberal woman in the United States. She's a liberal female. She's a liberal female trying to make a dollar off the black conservative hustle. She's always been this, we are the world. We holding hands with the Asians and the white folks and the Arabs and the Palestinians and, the Indians and the Pakistanis. She is, a colorblind liberal. I don't see color. I'm God's children. We all God's children. That is what you are. You're not a conservative. You're not trying to conserve anything. You with the Japanese boys and the Korean boys and the British boys. You all over the place with it. You're not conserving nothing. You ain't conserving shit, man. You ain't conserving shit. And, listen, it's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is this: stop trying to function as an ambassador for what you believe the black community and the black family should do. All right, because any other community would not tolerate such disrespect and such clown behavior. I tell you that right now. The Jewish community that fired your dumbass, they would never tolerate such foolishness and buffoonery. And maybe going back to what she said earlier, the reason why it was so hard for you to find a black man who you were compatible with is because the black man with the mindset you were looking for, he probably seen you run around with the Japanese and the Koreans and the Europeans and was like, I ain't dealing with that trash. I ain't dealing with that garbage. Because the black man who has the mindset of leadership, the black man who is fit to lead his community, the black man who values his ancestry, his heritage, his traditions and customs, he's not going to be dealing with a woman of your caliber, really, run around with the Japanese and the Koreans and the Europeans and shit. Why would he do that when he could get with a black woman of his similar mentality, of his similar stock, of his similar mindset, who also wants to conserve the traditions and customs of our ancestors? But see, you're not that woman. You're a liberal. You're not a conservative. You're a liberal. That's the reason why you couldn't find a black man, because the black man already seen what you are. They seen what you were. They knew it wouldn't work. They knew it wouldn't work. So they found them a black woman that they could work with, They left you in the dust. So that's why you with the white man, babe. That's why. That's why you run around with them different nations, because the black man that you wanted to be with, that you felt you were compatible with, he was not going to be dealing with you. He was not going to be dealing with you, because black men of that caliber, they don't deal with black women who be dealing outside the race like that. No, they want a black woman who's equally conservative as well. But see, when it comes to conservatism and the American concept, American conservatism, for example, is different than the conservatism you would find in, Nigeria or Ghana or whatever. The American brand of conservatism, you kind of have to butt kiss and bootlick after white folks. You kind of have to kiss white ass, right? So the black men who are conservative in America, due to the fact that they're kissing white ass, they probably run around chasing white women just like you were chasing white men. That's what it is. The American brand of conservatism is unique in that aspect, where you have to kiss the ring of white. You have to kiss white ass to get accepted into those circles. You have to bow down and kiss the ring. So because y'all were too busy bowing down and kissing the ring, that's why you see so many black conservative men in America married to white women. That's why you see so many black conservative women in America married to white men, because in the American subculture of conservatism, as a black person, you have to kiss white ass. You have to get on your knees, pucker your lips, and kiss the white ass. Kiss the white ass. That's what you have to do. That's the prerequisite to get inside the club, to get a membership inside the club. Kiss white ass. As soon as you stop kissing white ass, they kick you out the club, bro. Let's continue.
Yeah, you sued your high school for racism.
Yeah, clearly, it's actually that's not what happened. I didn't sue my high school for racism. But
not protecting you during that time, I said, right? Mm-hmm. They said for not protecting you. They said
I just did deal with the media does.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I get it, because it's something that I've talked about at length. But essentially, I had the situation happen to me in high school where somebody that I was actually best friends with left me horrific voicemails. They were racist voicemails. There's no other way to slice it.
Now, in this section of the interview, Charlemagne brings up an instance where Candace Owens was in high school, and it was a big blow up because there was a so-called racist incident where she suffered racist attacks. As a student, she got pulled out of school. She had to be homeschooled. A whole big thing. The NAACP got involved, and still that did not dissuade her from marrying a European. That did not dissuade her. You know what I mean? She still had love for the white man, even as a young girl getting attacked, suffering racist attacks. That's why I told you, in these black conservative circles in America, you have to kiss white ass, man. You have to forgive, and you have to kiss the white ass no matter what. Get on your knees and kiss the white ass. You have to kiss the white ass, bro. You have to. That's a prerequisite. Every morning you get up, you got to kiss the white ass. Let's continue.
That's why I don't think. That's why I think if you're black, you shouldn't be beholden to any political party, Democrat or Republican.
Right. I mean, I think that any concept of saying that I am a Republican forever or a Democrat forever is a nonsense.
That's how you know she's trying to transition from the black conservative hustle. She already got fired. That money drying up already. So now she's like, listen, I don't got no allegiance. You don't got to be Republican. You don't got to be Democrat. You see, a true conservative, a true stomp down American conservative, ain't no switching sides, bruh. Ain't no switching sides. That's treason. You know what I'm saying? That's treason. Listen, that's traitor behavior. That's traitorous behavior. If you're a real stomp down, American conservative, ain't no switching sides, bruh. The liberals are the enemies in there. That's how they paint the picture. The liberals are the enemies. So you cannot switch sides. You have to rep the team until the death. But like I said, she's not a real conservative. She's a hustler trying to make $1. Now, when it comes to me, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a Pan-Africanist with certain conservative ideologies. My politics tends to lean conservative, but I'm not conservative in the American concept, the American brand of black conservatism. Like I said, you got to kiss the white ass. I'm not kissing no white ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not kissing the white ass. I'm a true conservative in the concept that I believe in military power, economic power, conserving the traditions and customs of your ancestors. I believe in conducting business among your own people first, empowering your own people first. I'm a true conservative in that aspect. But like I said, the American brand of conservatism is really just, it ain't real conservatism. It's really just butt kissing and sidekick, clown show type shit. It ain't real conservatism for real. It's like you just butt kissing the white man. Let's continue.
If you listen to what I'm actually saying, I'm sitting here providing a blueprint for Black Americans to get ahead, because it's time, okay? It's time. We've been doing this for a very long time in this country. Black America, wake up, okay? They don't like you. They don't like us.
That's how you know the black conservative money is running low. That's how you know that grift is drying up, because now she's talking about they don't like. Who doesn't like us, Candace? Who don't like us? That's why I'm saying, man, Candace Owens is intelligent, because she knows the black community is so easily swayed by sweet words, man. Oh, they don't like us. These vague phrases, these vague statements, they don't like us. Black folks hear shit like that and automatically thinks Candace Owens, she's down with the team now. Oh, they don't like us. Man, listen, she gonna say that bullshit, get you riled up. The reason why I don't like these women who try to play both sides of the fence, run around with the Europeans, but trying to play pro-black, is because they try to get you so emotionally triggered and riled up on that race talk. Then after they get you riled up on the race talk, they go right in bed with their white man, bro. They jump right in bed with their white man. Meanwhile, you all charged up. You charged up on the race talk. Meanwhile, she goes right back to bed with the British aristocrat trust fund baby she married to. And you over here talk, oh, they don't like us. Man, listen, she loves them folks. Don't get it twisted. She loves them folks. They don't like us, but she loves them. Let's continue.
No, for me, I actually say what I believe. I actually believe the things that I'm saying. And people just find that to be incredulous. How could a Black person not be a Democrat? How could she not honor Lyndon Baines Johnson's dream to have, those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years? Because I learned my history properly after I left school, because now I see that the people that I thought were my saviors are actually avowed racists. And what they really wanted to do was just to recreate the slave plantation. And
I learned my history after high school. No, you didn't. No, you did not. No, you didn't. Because if you learned your history, and if you were a true conservative, you would not be laid up with a British aristocrat laying up at night. And listen, we've seen women like Candace Owens throughout history, bro. This archetype is nothing new. We've seen them in ancient Egypt. We've seen them in West Africa. We've seen them in the European colonies. And we see them in the present day. These women have been walking amongst us for centuries, bro. Walking amongst us for centuries, man. I'm telling you, man. How do you think ancient Egypt went from a native indigenous African civilization to an ambiguous mixed race civilization with, Persian and Greek and Roman and Arabs and all this shit and, all this mixture in that region? How do you think that happened? It's because we've seen women like Candace Owens going back thousands of years. And if Black men understood our history, then we understand why women like this are so dangerous, man. We understand why women like this are so dangerous, going back thousands of years when the foreigners would come to ancient Egypt and they would intermingle and intermix with our women. And then their mixed race sons would end up taking the throne and taking power and doing the bidding of their foreign fathers. We've seen these women in West Africa. When the Europeans would come to West Africa, the British and the Portuguese and the French and all that shit, they would come to West Africa and they would intermix with the local population. Take a look up on the screen. Interracial marriages on the Gold Coast resembled Luso-African marriages in other parts of West Africa in much more than name. As in the Luso-African cases, women on the Gold Coast not only helped their European husbands survive and resettle in Africa, they also helped them as translators, cultural ambassadors, and trading partners. The wealthiest of these women also owned slaves, European-style houses and furniture, and gold and silver, and they had both power and influence in the coastal communities. They frequently married several European men in succession, and when their husbands died or left Africa, they inherited the property and the slaves. Their children had European names and were brought up by African families, and from early on a pattern formed wherein it was primarily European African women who married European traders. And by European African women, they talk about mixed race women. So many people do not know, but one of the main tactics that the European used to gain a foothold in Africa, they always talk about the African kings, but they don't talk about the European men that came and intermixed with the local population and got married into the local population and used their wives as cultural ambassadors to help them gain a foothold in the continent to their economic advantage. And when those women would have daughters, they would also encourage their daughters to also marry European traders that also came to the coast as well. So that's why you had these entire coastal communities of mixed race women that were serving as the liaison between the European world and the African world. And besides the Portuguese, The French were most famous for using this tactic, using the mixed race offspring to do their bidding. I've spoken about it before, but how do you think that Haiti was divided into two governments and they ended up paying reparations in 1825? Because the mixed race offspring of the European man and the African woman was in power, and he decided to cut the check to his European father. How do you think that many African kingdoms fell at the hands of the French? Because the French would use mixed race generals who are the sons of European men and African women, the most famous one being General Alfred Dodds, who waged war against West African kingdoms in the region. The same way ancient Egypt fell, these foreign men would come to our lands and use our women against us, use the mixed race offspring they produce with our women against us. So as black men who know our history, we've seen this time and time before. We are familiar with the Candace Owens types. They've been around for so long, and they don't bring nothing but chaos and destruction and confusion. They don't bring nothing productive, nothing at all. Because at the end of the day, a woman is going to follow behind her man. A woman is going to follow the leadership of her man. I don't care what you say. So it doesn't matter how much Candace Owens hops on a microphone talking about the black community, the black family, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the Democrats. I don't care what she has to say, because she's married to a European aristocrat. Okay? So at the end of the day, her interests and our interests are not aligned, because the interests of the black man and the interests of the British aristocracy are directly opposed to each other, and they've been opposed for centuries, and they'll always be opposed for as long as we exist. I don't care what nobody say. Let's see.
Larger questions about, okay, because I have been feeling like in my heart that something weird's going on with black media. You know, I'm like, what is this trash that we're trying to sell as good music? This isn't black culture. I hate that black people even call it black culture, because that's like, no. Vultures came in and took black culture, turned it into something else. Like I said, I've said it many times, I grew up listening to Lauryn Hill. Stop trying to tell me this is black culture. Like, I grew up in my grandfather's house listening to The Temptations. Stop trying to sell to me if this is black culture. It's not. This is rotten.
Black people aren't monolithic. I mean, you're like, even you're an example of that.
All right, we back. Now, in this section of the interview, Candace Owens was talking about the entertainment industry, the music industry, and how she feels that it's a detriment to black culture, right? She specifically was talking about the music industry, saying, I grew up on this type of music. I don't like the type of music that's being promoted and pushed out. Well, listen, the most powerful man in the music industry is Lucian Grange. Take a look up on the screen. Lucian Grange is a 64-year-old record executive and a businessman who has served as the chairman and chief executive officer of Universal Music Group for the past damn near 15 years, beginning his career in the 1970s, right? And guess what? Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group, the most powerful man in the music industry, is also, similar to Candace Owens' husband, is a British aristocrat. He's a British aristocrat. He's from the same class of society that your husband occupies. So that's what I'm saying. Candace Owens, baby girl, spare me the fake outrage. This is all fake outrage. This is fake outrage, man. Oh my God, the black culture. Oh man, the music industry. Oh, I grew up on the Temptations. I grew up on fucking Whitney Houston. Nigga, shut up, nigga. Shut the fuck up, bro. Talking all this shit about the music industry and the culture vultures taking up the black culture. I guarantee when your husband takes you around them parties and them different gatherings and Lucian Grange is in the building, you're gonna be smiling and wait. Hi, Mr. Lucian. How are you? Oh my God, you're the CEO of Universal. Oh my God. Wow. Listen, you ain't gonna be keeping that same energy. You ain't gonna be keeping that same energy. All right. You're gonna be smiling in that man's face and offering him a drink. All right. Stop the fake pro-black bullshit, man. Only these slow black men be following behind that bullshit and thinking you spitting facts. I know what it really is. You see, a black man like me, my neurotransmitters fire at a rapid pace. I'm very sharp. I'm very concise. I really know what the fuck going on, right? So you can't try to play me with that bullshit you're trying to play these other dudes, man. Trying to get in the good graces of the black man. But I know what's up with you, baby. I know what's up with you. When you get around the white man, you're not keeping the same energy. You're going to become very docile, meek, and respectful. I know what it is, bro. I know what it is. Let's continue.
This means that there's a different reason that people are getting awarded and are being platformed. And I have seen people that I just do not believe were made hot by black people that were suddenly being thrown in our face and being invited everywhere on red carpets, and suddenly they're next Taylor Swift. It's all just feels so artificial. It doesn't feel well. I'm giving an example. You guys talked on stage about Ice Spice. I mean, on the show about Ice Spice, you guys played my clip where I was talking about it. I don't have anything against Ice Spice. I'm sure she's a very nice girl. I really am sure she's young. That's not a justification. What is she, 20? How old is she? 20?
I don't even know.
I think she's like 24, 25.
23.
That's actually, she's not that young, right? You know, like Lauryn Hill she was like 18 when she was on Sister Act. But, you know, the point is I don't fault her for making that music, but I am seeing this artificial promotion of Ice Spice. Like all of a sudden, of all the people, that's who Taylor Swift decided to put on her on the stage and take to, you know, the Super Bowl.
Now, I'm about to hit Candace Owens with a knockout real quick. In this section of the interview, she tried to say that, you know, she went on her spiel about how, you know, music isn't music anymore, and this is not black culture, and these culture vultures have taken the culture and they're promoting garbage and putting it and passing it off as the black culture or whatever. And she used Ice Spice as an example. Now, I just spoke about Lucian Grange, the most powerful executive in the music industry, who happens to be a British aristocrat just like Candace Owens' husband. Now, Ice Spice is signed to Elliot Grange. That is the son of Lucian Grange. And Elliot Grange is literally no different than the man that Candace Owens married. He's a trust fund baby with a rich father who comes from a British aristocratic family. That's all he is. He is no different than the man that Candace Owens decided to spend the rest of her life with. That is the man she complaining about, Ice Spice. Well, guess what? The man who brought Ice Spice to the forefront is no different than the man you married to. He's a British trust fund baby from a ruling class family. And I guarantee if you ever met him in person, you would not keep the same energy. You'd get on your knees and you would show respect, because that's what you are. Black conservative, get on your knees, kiss the white man ass. Kiss the white ass. That's all y'all do, man. I ain't buying none of this fake pro-black bullshit. I ain't buying none of it. It's all fraudulent. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. Candace Owens want to talk about Ice Spice. Listen, Candace Owens, check it out. Check it out, man. Ice Spice is signed to 10K Projects, okay? That was founded by Elliot Grange in 2016, okay? His father gave him the resources to start that venture. So the same exact men that you're complaining about that gave Ice Spice a record contract are the same type of men that you married to. The same class of men that you're married to. And I wouldn't be surprised if your husband was great friends with Elliot Grange. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the golf course together and go traveling together and go to parties together and be, having fun together, because they come from the same class of society. They're British trust fund babies with rich fathers. That's the same type of man you married to. So the same shit you complaining about, you married into it. So spare me the bullshit, bro. Spare me the nonsense. I ain't trying to hear it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I just can't take it. I just can't take it, bro. I just can't take the fake pro-black bullshit. I just can't. It's so prevalent with these type of women. I just can't do it, bro. I can't do it, but I can't, bro. I can't. I can't. That type of shit works on these other black men. These other black men hear you and be like, oh man, Candace spitting fast. Candace spitting fat. But a black man like me who understands how the world works, I know you're a bullshitter. I know you have no good I know you're out for self. Everything you do is for self. Everything you do is all for self. You don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. So please spare me the bullshit. Let's continue.
For some reason, when I see that, like the hyper feminization of black men, it does something to me spiritually. Like it makes me want to snap.
Well, I guess I'm not saying you're wrong, but there's plenty of people that be like, well, why are you not with a black man then, Candace?
What's that? That's something to do with anything. I'm of a black man. Like my granddaddy, my dad, I'm of a black man. It's not gonna why do you feel impacted by it? Because
listen, I know y'all boys was eating that shit up. Oh my God. The hyper feminization of the black man, it does something to me spiritually. The black man. Man, y'all boys be falling for that shit, bro. That's why so many of y'all boys be getting bamboozled by these fake, failed swirlers turning pro-black. Man, I never get fooled by that shit because I know what it is, bro. I know what it is with them women, bro. Y'all boys is weak. You know what I'm saying? Y'all boys is weak. Y'all boys weak. But I love how Charlamagne threw that question in. Yeah, you talking about the black man, but how come you with a white? You saw how she started stuttering? I come from the black. She started beatbox. I come from the black. Man, listen, it's truly a shame. It's truly a shame. This is the best. This is the best y'all could do. This is the best y'all could do. Candace Owens. You mean to tell me there's not a single black woman out there who's married to an intelligent black man, a 5-star black man who actually walks the walk and talks the talk, that could actually come on, the Breakfast Club and actually, really spit these facts and actually, back up what she said? Candace Owens, the best y'all could do in the black conservative circle? That's the best y'all could do? Ha! Listen, if that's the best y'all could do, good luck getting black folks to convert from the Democrat Party. That's the best y'all could do. That's the best y'all could bring to the table. Trash, nigga. Trash. I suggest y'all come with a better opponent. Come with a better ambassador. Because this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it, man. This ain't it. It's not it, man. It's not it, man. It ain't it. I'm sorry. It ain't it. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari, the Salim, back in the Billy. Yes, indeed. Cash App up on the screen. And I'm gone. Peace.